What is the biggest change that citizens of Canton are going to see between a Mayor Healy and a Mayor Smuckler?
I think that right now it's very difficult for this mayor to work with other communities. I mean, as I stated in your first segment, it's very difficult for him to go to the county commissioners. He fired one of them. He ran and trashed the second one. And the third one, he's been known to berate on occasion also. And it's been politically motivated by a lot of them. So it's very difficult for him to work with other people. I think I have the relationship with the county commissioners. I have the relationship with a lot of other elected officials to stick my hand out and say, look, we're not trying to take you over. What we're trying to do is build what's better for this community.
I've talked to the mayor on several occasions trying to draw him out on when some of his economic development projects are going to materialize, and the date keeps getting pushed out. Are these real economic development projects, in your opinion? Are they going to materialize, or are these just hope?
Well, I think some of them are hope. I think some of them will materialize. I think they'll probably materialize just before the election, a lot of them.
Okay.
And that's a shame that we're down to that. The problem we face is in a lot of instances, we're not brought into the loop in a lot of instances. For example, when I asked the question, does anybody in council know about what the problem is with 911? You were there that night.
Right.
He said, no, I haven't told anyone. Well, this council passed a resolution supporting 911. This mayor, as you saw, supported 911. Why wouldn't you come and tell us there's a problem?
Right, and I understand the problem from his standpoint is, and I'd like to get your comment on this, that since the sales tax retention got repealed, that the money isn't there any longer to build a 911, and therefore it's not financially sustainable. That's how I understand his opposition. You may have a different read on his opposition.
No, that's probably true opposition, but I think most of the opposition is coming from the safety director and not necessarily from him. And I also believe that if you talk to Randy Gonzalez and Joe Concato and some of the other people that have been involved, that's not the case. I believe that $2.6 million that the county had is still there. Again,
and it's supposed to be supported by fees, right?
Correct. And we all will kick in. That's what I was about to say. And we will all kick in some fees for this whole thing. That's why we have still a $780,000 budget for a radio room, not just a $1.2 million budget. And we'll all supposedly work together based on the fees, and that when our ideal dream is that when other entities see this working, that they will also help with the fees and come on board and participate with this. But it's sort of the old adage, too, of what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Well, in this particular case, I think that since our seed money's there, we have a chance to save money. We should go back and we should attempt to do this. I don't know where he sees, because I talked to Joe Concato. He told me it's financially in our best interest, and Joe's had both hats on here.
Right.
He's had the hat on as 911 director. He's also had the hat on as safety and service director here. So this isn't just not being able to see this from the inside of Canton's perspective. He's seen it from the inside of Canton's perspective. He has continued to tell me that there is a way for us to save money, the $400,000. But I don't want to continue to belabor that. I think that that's the main interest of what you'll see is that. And you will also see something that I don't think anybody's done company-wise in this community. We don't go to a lot of companies that are already here and say, what can we do to help you? No one's ever sent a mass mailing out that says, this is our economic development department's number. If you're struggling, if you need help, if, it's the ad for, in some instances, it's the ad for social services. If you're struggling, if you need help, here's our phone number. We may be able to help you with your business.
So your economic development is more than annexation. As you know, I've been...
Martin, you've beat me up about annexation.
I mean, I've been... and I explain in my blogs that I don't think it goes deep enough. It's permanent enough. And in my view, it's focused just on generating tax revenues. And
I want you to look at our last probably 5 or 6 annexations. Did we go to them or did they come to us? This is important, Mark.
Well, but your annexation director describes himself as Darth Vader to the townships.
but then speak of Mr. Darth Vader and C.M. Slyman. Bill Smuckler describes himself as someone who wants to work with other people, and I've proven that over the years. I've also proved not only on annexations, because when the quarry came to us and we went to the quarry, they needed something from us. What did they need? They needed water. And they felt it was in their best interest to do what they did. I don't think you were doing your blog then, but if you would have gone to that meeting at Fultz Community Center in Canton Township, it wasn't pretty. And I was there. And what we said was, wait a minute, folks, this isn't a hostile annexation. This is an annexation where people are saying, we want to come in. The annexation we did for Park Farms, they wanted to come into the city. They knew what they were getting when they were.
So that's your annexation approach, is only when it works to the advantage of everybody?
Unless you're on our direct border. And then I believe that if you want to come into the city of Canton and you're right on our border, then we have to talk to you about annexation.
Right.
For example, Meadow Lake Golf Course. Mr. Barr's been down here several times. Sometimes he's talked about annexation, sometimes he's talked about just give me the water and I'll run. Well, I don't think that's fair to the citizens of this community if you're directly on our border. But I also have shown that working with Jackson Township, it has been an economic development marriage, and it had nothing to do with annexation. If anything, I think if you go back and look at the facts, Mayor Held and Mayor Healy had a giant map out and were carving that area up. And we weren't interested in the carving up as much as we were interested in what we can do for all of us.